And we're live. And we're live.
Here we go.
How you feeling?
I'm alright. You know, it's a nice hot day with our bipolar weather here in the area.
Well, thank you for making it in. Thank you for here for another episode of Poly Stories. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Elitininanesi Mafua-ofa. Most people call me Nesi or Tootie.
Hey, up.
I'm 32 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My ethnicity is I'm African American, Samoan and Tongan.
Okay.
And I'm representing San Francisco.
SF.
For today.
For today. For today.
For today.
Hey, Bay Area. All right. So so how did you grow up?
So I actually grew up with a single mom, and there was 3 of us until my youngest brother was born.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the first child, and my mother's African American. My dad is Samoan and Tongan.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in the projects of San Francisco in Sunnydale, which is near the Cow Palace.
Yep.
And like, just think of it like the hood, like straight hood. So it's kind of like you learn like how to fight, you learn like all that stuff you learn at a very young age, how to protect yourself. Because of that, me being a very young, flamboyant, super feminine gay boy, or like a fakaleiti at the time, it raised many questions in the household. It raised questions within school. It raised questions within the family, even in the community, right? Because in the Black culture, it's just not, 1, it's not talked about, but 2, it's not accepted. Period. Like, at all. Like, there's people that rather have their sons be an axe murderer, child molester, rapist, blew up everything in the world, but you cannot be a lady at all. So that was very, very, very difficult growing up as a kid, you know, and constantly being told what I can't do, being, I don't want to say shunned, but like really understanding at a young age, like, wow, there are certain family members that do not like me, and I can't go around them for, not only for my mental safety, but for my my physical safety. Like having to understand that by the time I was like 8 years old, like no kid should be having to worry about that. That was on my mind, right? And then I have like my dad's side, like my poly side, where it wasn't really talked about me being a lady or a fa'afafine, but it wasn't. I wasn't like treated differently because of it. I wasn't beaten. I wasn't like kept away from certain people. I was very much like, let this kid just live, you know? So like when I hung out with the girls, it wasn't a problem. When I wanted to help out and do and wash dishes, or like help the old lady sort out koloa in the garage, it wasn't a big deal. And it was very confusing, right? Because it's like my Black side, I have to wear this one hat, and then my poly side, I have to wear another hat, and then sometimes it would clash, right? So growing up, I wasn't necessarily confused with who I was, because I knew at a very young age that I was different.
How early did you know?
I would say I started to notice like that I was different from everyone else when I was in, I want to say a good like 6 years old, like 5, 6 years old. My family members will tell you earlier times when they noticed that I was different, like when they like full on noticed like something's different about that boy, you know. But the earliest times I remember is like 5, 6, like wanting to play with girls' toys, like wanting to learn how to niti, wanting to learn how to weave a fala, wanting to do a taulunga with the girls, and end up mastering it, I would say. but yeah, like and you know, like when you're a kid, you're not thinking that anything's wrong. You know, you're not thinking that you're different from everyone else.
You don't know anything else.
And then what makes it funny is that the kids around you aren't treating you different. The kids are just like, Tootie! Tootie loves playing with Barbies. Or, like, and Tootie also plays football with us sometimes too. It's not a big deal. But the adults is what, like, they're the ones that made me understand that I'm different, or made me feel like something's wrong.
Something's wrong with you.
And they were very vocal about it too. And mind you, I was just a kid.
Yeah.
So, growing up, especially in Sunnydale in the projects, it was very challenging. You know, like I wasn't bullied, but over time I saw that people treated me different as time went by. So there was one time, I remember I was little. I was playing with my troll. I loved troll dolls when I was little. Like that was something that I was able to mastermind and understand. Like, this is a kind of like what's the word? A unisex kind of toy.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Because girls play with it and boys play with it.
Yep.
So I recognized that at a young age. Because my mom's side and my mom, they was not letting me play with no dolls. Hell no, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I realized, like, oh, boys play with trolls and girls play with trolls.
Yeah.
So I would bring it to my mom's house, and she and the family was like, oh yeah, boys play with trolls too. So I was like, yes. Like, I figured it out. They didn't know what I was doing, but I was plotting, right? So I remember there was one time I was outside playing with my trolls, and this boy kept picking on me, and I didn't want to fight him because I was well aware of my strength when I was a kid. And I was like, leave me alone kind of thing. And then there was his dad, a grown-ass man, making fun of me for playing with trolls. So I remember I went in the house and I was like, Mom, like, da-da-da's dad is making fun of me for playing with trolls. So she comes outside and she's like, what's the problem? Why are you bothering my son? Like, you're a grown-ass man bothering this 6-year-old little boy.
Yeah.
Like, and when I mean, like, bothering, not just, like, picking on him. Like, the dad is like, this is some faggot shit.
Yeah.
Playing with a troll.
Oh, okay. Damn.
And I'm just a kid.
Yeah.
You know? So, and then, like, I'm also trying to process, like, what does faggot mean? Like, what is that word?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So my mom is kind of like pissed off. She's ready to fight him.
Yeah.
She's calling her brothers over. And then he's like, I'll have my son beat your son ass. So my mom looked at me and was like, at that point, you know, boys, you can't back down now. You got to fight. My mom's like, gave me that look. She was like, beat his ass. I whooped his ass.
Yeah.
And his dad was not upset because his son got his ass whooped, but in his mind, he was more upset that his son got his ass whooped by a faggot.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, feeling like, damn, like, I can't even, like, just simply play with trolls.
Yeah.
You know? And it was just mind-blowing to me, because after that, me and the boy, we became really good friends.
Yeah.
We were really cool. And then once I got in I want to say, like, 9th grade, when I really started to embrace my poly side more, like more of my Samoan side, more of my Tongan side more, and I really started to come into who I am as a Leiti and start my transition to become a woman, he just stopped talking to me. And this is someone...
Your friend.
Yeah. Okay. And he wasn't the only one. Yeah. There's like many of my guy friends who I was really close with. We were super cool, and then like once I started to come into who I was, they just stopped talking to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like that was like 15, 17 years ago.
Yeah.
And just yesterday, one of them had the nerve to say hi.
Yeah.
And I just was like, so like it was like this awkward moment,
out of nowhere.
right? Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it was really hard growing up as a child during that time in the projects, because you're not only dealing with just your family, but you're dealing with society, and you're dealing with the hood. Like that is it can be traumatizing to anybody, but really to a kid, but really to like a young Leiti that's just trying to simply play with Barbies and G.I. Joe and have a good time. You know? And then what was also just so about my childhood was that your family could be some of the biggest bullies.
Yeah.
And you really learn the whole term bullying from your family. Like my mother and my brothers and my cousins were my first bullies.
Yeah.
Before I even knew what it was, I knew like that shit wasn't okay.
Yeah.
You know? And it was crazy because I always say if I did not have my Samoan and my Tongan side, I don't know where I would have been right now. I probably either would have been somewhere prostituting, probably would have been dead, probably would have been on drugs, probably would have been in jail.
Yeah.
And this is not to like bash my black side. Because like I love my black family.
Yeah.
I love them to death.
Yeah.
But me as a lady, when I was young and I had no one in my corner, like it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And it took some time to overcome. And I remember as a little kid, especially when I was in 5th grade, and I remember I told myself, I said, if I don't make it to the age of 18, it's either because someone in the streets did something to me or someone in my family did something to me. Because I remember feeling like, not that I wasn't good enough, but like I was just this burden on everyone. Like, and it was like, you know, some aunties were really, really nice to me, but it was sad because it was like my uncle's wife, like my in-law was like the sweetest lady to me, always took care of me, always took me out, always told me, if you want to be like who you are, you're going to have to face some tough stuff. She told me that when I was little, 5th grade. We were at the nail shop. I was going with her to help her pick out a nail design. And she looked at me and she said, this world is tough and your family is no better. It's going to be tough. But one day you're going to have to let people go. And it may be your family. Be ready for that. And I never understood that until I got older. So, you know, middle school was like, it was like the best times of my life when it came to school. Because I was like, kind of like boys were starting to enter my life. And I was kind of like, what? No. Like super shy. And I was like entering like, you know, like my identity as like being very vocal. Like I am a lady, but I'm also like a girl as well. So I'm dealing with that. And that was like a complete shocker for the school because the teachers and the faculty didn't know how to react to that. They were like, you're a boy, you're not supposed to be doing. I'm like, child, I am a girl and I am not going in the boys' locker room to change for gym. You guys to figure something out, like, you know. So yeah, that middle school was awesome. High school, I was blessed to go to a charter high school that actually tolerated no bullying whatsoever. And I was able to really just like flourish and express myself, whether that was vocally, whether that was through dance, whether that was through my niti, or just me just simply being me, you know? And I'm very happy that I went through that. And then at that time I was also like very strong within like my Samoan and my Tongan cultures, and I was like loving the whole idea of being a lady and what does that mean for the family and what does that mean for the community. And it was awesome, like, you know, going through high school and really finding that and coming to that. So when I came to college, I was like sure ready. I was like I got this, like I'm ready to join Poly Club. In high school, I did not want to join Poly Club. I didn't want to do it. I was like, everyone would be like, just come dance. I'm like, no, I don't want to dance. And everyone wanted me to dance with the boys, but I'm like, no, I don't want to dance with the boys. Like, I'm a girl. I'm supposed to dance with the girls. So I remember when I graduated high school, I remember I told my mom, I was like, I'm not dressing as a boy anymore. I'm going to start like living my life. I should have been started, but I'm really going to start living my life. So it was my Samoan grandma that got me my first like girl outfit. She thought it was the most funniest thing ever. I think at the time she thought I was joking, and then she didn't realize that it was serious until she saw me in a puletaha one day and a tawavala, and she was like, "Oh, you're serious?" I'm like, "Yes." So I remember when I got to City College, like before I met you, I was very much like, I'm a lady, I'm a girl, I'm going into the school, like I'm ready to join the Poly Club, because I had so much more questions about my Samoan and Tongan culture as a lady, because there weren't a lot of us around, like especially within my family. They were there, but they weren't really vocal. Like my aunt lives in Hawaii. And my cousin, he was in college at the time doing what he was doing, so I was pretty much like the one. So I went to City College hoping to find a family. Because I didn't feel like I had that from my families. And having my best friend Lonnie on the side was like my trooper.
Shout out to Lonnie.
Shout out to Lonnie. But having her on my side was like the best thing. So I was ready to go into it. And then I came into the Poly Club, and then like this dark gray cloud came, and then it just all like, not all went bad, but some negative shit went down.
Yeah.
And
so talk about that, like how what happened.
So at the time I was in the Poly Club, we were all getting ready for the annual luau.
Yeah.
This was spring 2007. And so we're getting ready, so like we're practicing the dances and stuff like that, and then there was a couples dance, and I had never performed in a couples dance. I was like, oh god, I don't want to do a couples dance with anybody, but AKA I did have a few guys. I was like, I do a couples dance with you. I'll definitely do that with you, right? So we were getting ready, and then at the time I was pulled aside and I was asked if I had any concerns about the luau, and I was like, I didn't want to partner up with a guy that felt uncomfortable dancing with me. Okay. You know?
Yeah, gotcha.
And that's just out of respect. You know?
Yeah.
And then when I said that, a few of the guys on the football team, like, they heard and they were like, oh no, like, don't worry about that. Like, there are actually a few of us that want to be your partner because you're a good dancer. So I was like, oh, well, if that's the case, then I got nothing to worry about. Like, nothing. Well, it was brought to my attention that within the Samoan and Tongan culture, the Leitis do not dance with the girls.
Yeah. That
the Leitis dance as boys.
Yeah.
That's what was told to me.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, so what are you saying? They're like, if you participate in a luau, you have to dance as a boy, not as a girl.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, okay. Then I won't participate in the luau. I won't. Yeah. I'll find other ways that I can help.
Yeah.
And so it was left at that. And then I kind of just like, it took me some time to really process what just happened. Because I was like super ready for this luau. Like, I've invited like my mom's side to come. I invited like really good friends. Like, and this was kind of like everyone's first time to really like see like what I got on the stage, right? So I was just like, okay, like I kind of just was like, whatever. So I let it go, and I thought that was the end of it. I want to say a few hours later, that same day, one of my friends came up to me, Tongan, and he was saying to me, he goes, what did they tell you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this, what do you mean? He was like, this, don't lie to me.
Yeah.
And he's like one of my brothers.
Yep.
I love him. He's like, what did they tell you? And I said, they told me that, you know, if I was to dance, like, you know, the Leitis do not dance with the girls. We have to dance with the boys. And he goes, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
He was like, that's straight bullshit.
No, because when you said that, I was just thinking like, nah, I don't. I've never seen that. No, I've never seen that myself.
And he's like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm like, you know, it's cool, it's okay, let it go. He was like, no. I don't know how it is in Samoa, but in Tonga, that's bullshit.
Yeah, the ladies they dance with the girls.
He was like, the ladies always dance with the girls.
Yeah.
He was like, I think it'll look weird seeing a lady up there with the boys with her shirt off. He was like, that's bullshit. And I'm like, you know, let it go. I'm like, it's whatever. I'm like, I'll find the way that I can help support the club. So, the next day, it was like at that time, we had probably like about a good like 40 plus Tongans in the Poly Club. Yeah. And they all came to practice for Tonga for the item for the luau. And I was sitting there, I was doing my niti, of course, sitting there doing my niti, and I can hear them speaking in Tongan outside, and I heard one of them ask like, how come Nesi isn't out here dancing? And then someone responded like, they won't let her dance.
Yeah.
And then like I turn around and like all the Tongans just grabbed their stuff and they left. Like every single one of them. And then my friend came in and he was like that's bullshit. He was like, if you don't dance, there won't be no item. Like Tonga will not be in this luau.
Yeah.
Like, the Kingdom of Tongan won't do it. I'm like, this, you guys don't, like, it's not that serious. At the time, I'm like, this is not that serious. Like, let it go, yada, yada, yada. So it started to cause a lot of controversy with the club. And then it was brought to my attention that in the middle of the luau, it would be like this segment, kind of like, you know, when you go to like, I don't know if you've been to a Samoan function, and there's like this certain part where it's called like the fafa dance, where the boys dress up as girls, and it's kind of like a comedic type of thing, right? Icebreakers. So they were telling me that was going to happen, and I should perform in that one.
Oh wow, that's hella disrespectful.
So I was kind of like, no, it's okay. Yeah. So then the vice president at the time, she came to me and she was like, look, Nesi, we've all been talking. If you do it Tahitian number, or a solo Tongan number, and like all of us Tongans are going to come up there and support you. And I'm like, I don't know. And she was like, no, like, we want you to dance, and this may be the only time that you get to dance. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I had agreed to do it. And then, so things happened. Unfortunately, our president passed away, and then the vice president stepped up to be president. And then I don't know what happened within that time frame of me accepting that position, but we had a club meeting, and we talked about it. And then the president at the time, she said, due to cultural reasons, Nesi will not dance with the girls. Nesi will perform a different type of dance. And then one of the other girls on the side was like, what cultural reasons?
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
Yeah.
And they was like, you know, due to cultural reasons. She was like, no. So one of the guys was like, let's be honest here. If we're going to talk about it, let's be honest. He looked at me dead in my face, and he said, Nesi, it is not because you're a lady that they won't let you dance. It's because you're black.
Yeah.
He was like, it's that, and they don't want you going up there dancing better and outshining these poly girls because it's going to make them look stupid. That's why they won't let you dance.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I just kind of was like, and then someone stood up and said, well, the reason why we don't want her dancing with the girls is because we know that there's people that's going to be there that's going to have an issue that might approach me after the luau and be like, who do you think you are if they're dancing with the girls, yada, yada, whatnot.
Yeah.
And then someone else commented and said, but Tootie's part of our family. You act like if that was to happen, we won't have her back.
Yeah.
And then right after that, it was suggested that I dance for Fiji.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it was a very ugly time.
Yeah.
It was very ugly. The luau came and my part was cut.
Wow.
At the last minute.
Yeah. So they agreed, and then they cut you.
Yeah.
So you're already ready to go in?
I had my costume and everything ready.
The day of.
The day. Like, I was in the back, and one of my Tongan friends, she was back there helping me get dressed, and my other friend came and she was like, Ness, they cut your part. And what made it so hurtful was not that they cut my part, but because right after they cut my part, because they didn't have time, there was 2 other completely different dance groups that came and performed numbers.
And they told you they didn't have time.
Yes.
Wow.
So it was very dark, and I felt not betrayed, but at the time, like, I honestly felt hurt by my Samoan community.
Yeah.
I felt really hurt, and that's when I kind of like hung out more with like my Tongan side. I was way more with my Tongan friends. I was constantly at EPA. Yeah. I was constantly at Beach Street, constantly at Young Life. Like I was in there. Like EPA was like the place, you know. And I was very much so more thankful and grateful that I had don't even just take away the Tongan part. Just happy that I had friends and support, you know, from family members and friends during that time, because I felt so like I was crushed. Yeah. I was crushed. I just was like, how can this happen? And it put a very I don't want to say it put a hold on me and my best friend Lonnie. I love her to death. We healed because this put a hold on our friendship for a minute. But we got through it. We healed. We talked about it. She apologized. Many people apologized years later, but it definitely was ugly, you know? And it shaped me to be the woman that I am today. Because at that moment, I realized that there are people that just not going to like you. And there are people that's not going to want to see you happy. There are people that's not going to want to see you smile. And there are people that are just sad. I don't even want to say jealous. Maybe that too, but there are people that are just sad. And I had to accept that, you know? And I was later on, I was happy and blessed to have friends that pointed me to a platform where I can express myself and do a taulunga with the girls and solo in front of a bunch of people that was amazed, that was supportive, that was happy, and that was proud, you know, to see someone just simply be them. And it definitely pushed me to just continue to not only just be proud of being a Leiti, but to be proud of being like a Black Samoan and Tongan Leiti. Being very proud of that, you know? And it took some time, but I'm so glad I went through it. Like, I don't regret that dark time of City College.
It's just like your, was your auntie that told you when you were 5 years old, right?
Six,
like, this is coming, right? And she told you you're going to face this.
And and it came in so many different ways. Like, that was one. There was a time where I went to go visit my uncle, my mom's brother, and I was there, like, seeing family, and he, like, looked at me dead in my face, and he said, my mom didn't have any girl. No, not his mom, I'm so sorry. He was like, my sister did not have any daughters. She had all boys. So when you come to this house and when you come to this family, you need to present yourself as a man or don't come at all.
Oh, wow.
I kindly got up and walked out the house. And then I was at a place at that time where I just was like, you know what? I can't do it. I didn't want to talk to my mom's side. I didn't want to talk to my dad's side. I just kind of like not disappear. People were still able to contact me, but I just didn't show face. I did not show face. And I really took some time to focus on me. And then I resurfaced. To now.
So you, in your experience, did you feel more welcomed in your Tongan side more than your Samoan side as far as being a Leiti?
I would say at that time when I was going to City College, yes. Yes, definitely. But I say now that I'm older, I see it's both like even. It's both even. And I think that's definitely just like how I carry myself as a Leiti, because yes, I am a Leiti, but I'm also a woman. And I think 9 times out of 10, people just don't know that I'm a Leiti. Like, no one has a clue. Like, my job, I've been working at my job for like 2 years. They just found out a few months ago. So I think it's also the way, like, I carry myself. Like, I'm not loud. I'm very, like, mellow. I'm really chill. Like, you know, like, I can blend in with the girls in a heartbeat. Like, no one will know. Until either I start talking because my voice is kind of deep, or I tell them. But for the most part, my poly side has been way more accepting than my Black side. And that led to a point where I recognized that, and it kind of like made me afraid to be around like my Black side. And also afraid to sometimes be around like my own Black people. Like, I would be nervous. I would always be thinking like someone's going to say something. And 8 times out of 10, it's happened. Where someone has vocally said something disrespectful about me, like while I'm right there. That led me to kind of just be like, no, to where I've only would be with Samoans or Tongans. At all times, all the time. Especially when my grandmother was alive. Especially when my grandmother was alive. I was always. I didn't feel safe. And it's affected me to where like sometimes I won't go into a room if I see too many ulis because I'm always like worried or scared that someone's going to say something.
You have the right to do so. Yeah.
And but it's also challenged me to like not judge people, not prejudge people. Because I don't know their stories.
Yeah.
So that uncomfortableness has forced me to challenge myself and grow, and it's gotten heaps better. Heaps. Where'd that word come from? It's gotten lots better. Yeah.
Okay. Take a break. Let's keep it moving. All right. So I know you did mention you are African American. So did you ever face any kind of like prejudice because you're African American in the Polynesian community?
Yeah. It's interesting because throughout my life, whenever I meet someone that's that's half Samoan or half Tongan, even like half Fijian, and like they're black, I'm usually like really happy. So I immediately start speaking to them in Samoan or Tongan, or like start asking them questions and stuff like that. And they're like really cool, like really receptive about it. And even when I meet someone that's half poly and half white, it's been really, really good, like positive energy. But I always find it interesting that when I go to functions, because when I go to functions, I always wear a buletaha. Like always. And you can always catch me in a tauvala as well, just because I just love the way it looks. It's nice. I'm one of those girls that like goes crazy for a new buletaha. Like that's me. I've been at functions where I've heard people talk about me. Like full on talk about me. In English, in Samoan, and sometimes in Tongan, if I could catch the words. But I hear it, and it's usually like, oh, who's that girl? Like, why is that black girl here? Or like, oh, whose pulitaha is she borrowing? Or like, who's that Fijian girl right there? Or like, they'll simply ask about me or talk about me right in front of me, but to someone else. And I'm just sitting there like, Elitininanesi, and they're like, oh, like, say hi, it doesn't get ugly because I try my best not to let it get ugly, but I can see the difference because I feel like with me being black, that is usually how people react, and I've noticed that when I meet polys that are half white, that's never the thing.
The problem.
It's more so like, oh, she's Tongan. She's Tongan. Oh, he's Samoan. He's Samoan. And I'm just like, but he's half white. Like, you can see that. But like, for me, for someone that's black, I've always gotten the thing that's that phrase, like in Samoan, like we say like ekalofai, like poor thing, type of thing. And I'm just like, what's so sad about it? So I definitely experience that a lot when I'm at functions, whether it's a funeral or a party and I'm up there dancing, usually someone's mimicking something in the back, or even when I'm just like out in public. When I'm out in public, I've seen, because I wear my bracelet or my earrings, or sometimes I wear buletaha to work, corporate office. And I'll wear it and I see other polys and they'll, like, I had one time I was in a buletaha, clearly in a buletaha, on the bus, and this Samoan lady was like, I like your dress. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then she was like, you know what that is? Because in my culture, it's called a pulitasi. And I'm just like, I know. And then she's like, oh, you have a bracelet too. She's like, do you have Samoan friends? And I'm just like, saying in my head, like, you're not going to ask me if I'm Samoan. You're just
assuming.
And I'm like, yes, I have Samoan friends. And it's like, oh, okay. So like moments like that happens, or like if I happen to be walking through like my mom's jets in Sunnydale and I'm wearing a tauvala, I've seen people kind of look at me and be like, like they won't say anything to me, but I can hear them whispering. I can see, I see the looks of sometimes just like or kind of just like confusion for people. And it sucks because it's never inviting. It's never inviting. And I know that a good part of it is because I'm black. Because I know if I was half white or half Asian, this would not be, or have anything else, this would not be an issue.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of that plays into the history of America and also media and the way people, my people are portrayed.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because once people get to know me, they're immediately like, oh, you're so sweet, come around. Oh, my son should marry you. And that's a whole nother dialogue. And I'm just like, oh, sorry, sis.
We can talk about that.
But it sucks.
Yeah.
And it makes me sometimes feel like, I'm like, well, fuck. Am I not even poly?
Yeah.
Because I'm black? Like, is that just the main thing?
Yeah.
You know? And it I try not to let it get to me, but sometimes it definitely gets to me, because here I am, a Polynesian and black woman that is so proud to show my Polynesian culture. I'm so proud of it, to wear a tauvala in public, or a keke, or to wear a puletasi, or to wear an ear, and just to be happy and to show that we are loving people. But then yet, from my own people, I'm also seeing this, like, I don't want to say disapproval, but almost like a disgust.
Yeah.
As if, like, I shouldn't even be poly.
Yeah.
Just be black, because that's what we see.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't want to associate.
Right?
Yeah.
Versus someone that's half poly and half white. It's like all open doors for them.
Yeah.
And that definitely, a good part of that is because of the history of America. It's even within our people as well.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It sucks. It's irritating. It irks my nerves.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, with this generation, it's slowly changing.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly changing for the better.
Yeah.
For the better. Yeah.
Have you had conversations, like with your parents or with the people within your immediate family, like, you sat down and just told them, hey, look, this is who I am. You gotta accept me. It is, how do you accept me the way I am? Like, have you had those tough? Because I know a lot of times in Polynesian culture, we don't have these conversations.
Yeah.
We just kind of just throw it under the rug, and it's really tough to talk about taboo topics like lady, mental health, all these things that a lot of our people suffer. So have you had that conversation with the people in your family?
No. I particularly never had to, because of me and although I'm very like shy and like an introvert, and I'm like not really as social, my presence alone is kind of like, it's there and you need to deal with it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
When I when I say like my presence, like when I walk into a room, immediately people are like, other polys that don't know me is like, oh, clearly like she knows something, you know, and it kind of like forces people to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I never had to sit my parents down to talk about certain things, but there have been times where we have mentioned certain topics that's going on within America, and we talk about it. So like the presidency, like all the stuff that's going on now. When we talk about, like, when Black Lives Matter come up, like when we talk about it, I share my experiences. My siblings share their experience. We talk about it in that sense. But far as like me being like, Mom, Dad, this is who I am, and you need to accept it. No, because in my mind, I'm your child.
Yeah.
You should have had my back before anybody.
Yeah.
And the fact that you didn't, you need to take the time out of your schedule to figure it out for yourself, because I've already figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm living my life.
To come to you.
Yeah, you know, I'm living my life. Yeah. You're the one that's having these feelings. You're the one that's worried about what everyone else is going to say. I'm not.
Yeah.
Truly, I'm not, you know? And I'm glad I didn't. And because of that, I feel like I got to really focus on my life and what I want to do with my life. And it's been great. Mm-hmm. Like, these past few years have been wonderful.
Yeah.
And I love it. And me and my parents are really cool. Like, me and my mom are very close now.
Yeah.
Very close. And now we're actually starting to talk about things in the past that happened.
Yeah.
Like certain things, and like, you know, she's starting to hear my story, and she's starting to be like, why you didn't tell me about this when you talked about it. But that's happening now. But as far as like me telling them, sitting them down, like this is a problem, or like I feel this way, or this is who I am, you need to accept it. No.
Okay.
No.
Did you before in the past, did you want to have the conversation in the past, or you just never? Did a part of you like always wanted to have that, or you just never wanted to have that conversation?
I say part of me did.
Yeah?
I did want to have that conversation,
Yeah.
you know, because as a kid, you definitely want to be able to talk to your parents about anything, you know, because you want their support before you get anyone else's support. You know, you always want to have your foundation like my mom got my back, my dad got my back. I'm ready. I could take anything now. Now I'm ready. Yeah. So I did want to have that talk, but I think for like us as not only just poly people, just people of color, getting access to that language to be able to express that vocally is difficult.
The right way.
Yeah, and also our parents are from generations where certain topics and just certain language is just were not accessible to them. So they don't know how to not only process it, but just to communicate back as well. You know, like I couldn't sit there and tell my mom when I was little, like, Mom, this is who I am, and I just need you to accept me. She would have been, boy, get your ass up in that house. Like, you know, my dad would have been like, oh, okay, that's good. Go wash your dishes. So, but a part of me did want to have that dialogue with my parents because I wanted their support more than anyone's. But after a while, you kind of just learn as you grow older. You like, I ain't gonna be able to get to that person right now. You know? Well, I'll deal with it when it comes. But like, I think that now that my parents see that I'm not only living my life, I'm living my truth, and I'm doing really good for myself right now, especially with work and just building my career. They're more open to talk about things now, you know, because they see that I'm all right. They see that I've navigated the world, you know.
Yeah, because I think, you know, I've had conversations with different type of polys that are half black and half poly, and you know some of them want to have that conversation, but you know they can never get to it. This is the first time I've heard your perspective on this, where you decided not to have the conversation and just, in a way, just teach people how you want to be treated. 'Cause I don't know, I can't remember a quote, but I feel like sometimes you don't have to tell people how to. You just teach them how to treat how to treat you the way you live your life. Because if you put your standards and expectations, this is how I am. You don't have to say anything. It's just they just see how you move. They'll just learn, okay, what you tolerate, what you don't tolerate, and then naturally they'll just come around.
Exactly.
You feel like
exactly.
If you have this happen to you,
like right, like it's one of those things. Like right when I walk into a place, like people are immediately like, okay, and then like when they see how I am, they see how I interact with people, then they know, you know, and it's not, and it's also just like common sense, like just don't be a dick, like you know, like just don't be an ass, you know, like be nice, be a human being, like just be a human being, like you know, and it's funny because like even like when I walk into like poly functions and I'm like full decked out, like got the says in my hair, my tavala and my puletaha, and people are just like immediately when I walk in, they're just like, some people are like, oh my god, like we got, oh she's half black and Tongan, or half black Samoan and Tongan, like immediately they're just like, they want to like come to me just like not only just to meet me but just to hear my story, you know, and I don't even have to tell them anything, just like my presence kind of like exudes that.
You're light. Oh, okay.
I try.
No, so I want to ask you something. I was discussing this with one of my cousins that they're half black, half Polynesian. So, and you know, she sometimes feels like, you know, she feels a lot of prejudice from her family, and then sometimes she feels like there's like, you know, racism, right? So, as we were talking, and I told her, and she asked me how I, you know, what's my opinion about it and my how I see things, and I told her, I don't feel like necessarily Polynesians are racist. You know, it's just we've been conditioned to, you know, see things a different way. especially when it comes to people that's not the same color of your skin.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So like, like you say, something you hear a lot of Polynesian families, they'll tell us, hey, don't marry a black person.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
Right? They'll tell their kids, marry everything else, but don't marry a black person, right? And I feel like, because, for me, I've heard that before from not only within my family, but to other families. But when I hear from those parents, from those people, I know those people personally. They're good people. Like, they're, like, their parents are, really kind. They'll help anybody. They'll give their food to any stranger in the policy. But they've been taught this belief from the culture that we shouldn't marry. We should marry within our own race, but especially do not marry black people. So do you feel like it's not really a racist thing? It's more of like, negative cultural beliefs that we be passed on to, that we have to cut up, that we have, as today's generation, we need to cut them and start teaching our kids it's okay to marry whatever you want to marry. It's associate with anybody you want to associate. What if you have a kid with, if you marry a black person and have a kid, like, it's the same, doesn't matter. But I think it's more of like a cultural conditioning or standard, or whatever tradition you want to call it. I wanted to ask you how you feel about that. Or is it just straight? Because I feel like racism is hate.
I think I understand what you're saying, and I've heard it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I've heard it from many different types of people, and I've heard it while I was sitting right there.
Yeah.
While people have told me that I should marry a poly person. Yeah. But yet I'm hearing them tell someone else not to marry a black person. Yeah. And I'm like sitting right there. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So I see, and I also understand what you're saying when you don't see it as racism, because you see racism as hate, and you know these people to be really good people, but it is a form of racism. Yeah. And I think that the difference between how we see it is because I am black. Yeah. So I see and I feel a certain way, because at the same time it kind of makes me feel like, well, shit, I shouldn't even been here. Yeah. I shouldn't have existed. Yeah. And it's hurtful, but I also know that that mindset, or it's like when I hear Polly say that, it brings up so many questions. Not only about racism, about internalized racism, about skin color, systematic racism, about colonization. Yep. And it brings up all of that, and I personally just feel like it's completely fucked up. Yeah. Like, you can't sit here and tell me that and show me that you're this wonderful person, you're a great person, you would do anything for anybody, you would help any stranger, but yet in the back of your mind, you'd be damned if your son or your daughter bring home a black person. Yeah. Like that I can't. I'm always going to love and respect someone, you know? Yeah. But that in the back of my mind is always going to make me feel some type of way, especially if I'm right there. I'm like, then does that mean that you feel some type of way about me? Yeah. Yeah. And I think that it comes from, I don't want to say people not knowing, but I feel like it comes from ignorance. Yeah. It does. Yeah. Like it does. And it's sad. Yeah. It's so sad. It's sad. Especially when we're very similar. Yeah. In features and cultures and like all throughout. But it sucks. Yeah. It sucks. Especially when you hear it and you're a product of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And especially like when you hear it and you know you might be dating someone that's black. Yeah. Like, and therefore you can't be serious with them because deep down your family is not ready for that. Mm-hmm. But yet we're good people. We're friendly. Yeah. We're kind. We're loving. And yet there's this in the back. Yeah. That's always being said within our families. Yeah. But it's totally fine to marry someone that's white. Yeah. Totally acceptable. Yeah. Push for it, actually. Yeah. Go for it, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Even when I know some white people that are just completely disrespectful.
Oh yeah.
And I know some black people that are very disrespectful.
Yeah.
Probably people in general. You know,
Oh,
it's
all types
sad.
Of people.
Yeah.
All people.
All people. Horrible. Damn you all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks, and it definitely it always just makes me feel uneasy sometimes when I hear it, because I'm just like, you can't feel that type of way and love me at the same time.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, there is no half
Like
racist.
that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do want to talk about, you know, you feeling loved as a lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I feel like there was a process, a journey that you have to go through to, I feel like, some kind of self-love, that you have to start loving yourself first before you worry about everybody else. Can you talk about that journey and what you did? Because I feel like that journey is one of the toughest things. You know, just for me listening to your story, I mean, I can't even imagine a day in your shoes. All right. But, you know, I feel like, you know, I do want to add some value, because I feel like a lot of people are going to watch this, and they may, like I said, sometimes you just don't know what to do. These are feelings, emotions that are not taught in our community, or there's not an outlet or a place where they can, a safe place where you can talk about these things to understand what you're feeling. And a lot of times, you know, young ladies or kids who are trying to figure out how they're feeling just don't know. They just don't know what to do with these feelings.
Yeah, definitely.
So can you talk about your journey, your transformation?
Yeah.
What did you do specifically to start loving yourself? What did you do to cut off people? What did you do to get to a point where you just found yourself, you know what, to fully love yourself, to be the person you are today?
Yeah. So, as a lady, like growing up, I don't want to say like I always looked for love, because I didn't, right? It wasn't until like high school, college, where like I would hear like, you know, like my girlfriends talk about boys and stuff like that, and me wanting to feel that. Me wanting to be able to go home and text someone. Me wanting to see my boyfriend and hug him. Like, and me wanting to know that I had someone in my corner too, right? And as a lady, it's very difficult because not everyone is accepting, right? Of you. And then you also have to think about not everyone will be accepting of him as well, right? So with that, with then after that, it comes, you start doing things to get love or to get that feeling from someone, right? So that's whether you're that's whether you're talking to a boy that won't hug you in public. Whether that's talking to someone where you guys have to sneak off at a park at nighttime just to be alone, to just hug each other or talk or do whatever you do, you know? And that goes on for so long. You wanting to meet the family, you wanting to meet his friends, even though you see them all the time, but they're just like, no, don't do that, right? But you don't want to, you know it's bad, you know it's not what you want, because you know no one else is going through that, right? And you don't see you any different than anyone else, but it's happening to you. You don't want to let go of it, because if you let go of it, then what do you have? You have nothing, right? So you deal with it, and then you start to, with when you dealing with that type of stuff, you're belittling yourself, right? Every single time. And then you start to settle for things. Like, oh, he has a girlfriend? Well, yeah, but me and him are still talking. Does anybody know about you? No. But then you see him posting pictures with his girlfriend all the time, right? You see his family that met his girlfriend, but you guys have been talking for like 5 years. But his girlfriend that he just met 2 months ago already done met the family, already done been to a church function, already got a matching pair, right? So it hurt and it sucks. And as a lady, I went through that with so many guys, just talking. This is not even on like anything like sexual.
Yeah.
Just talking.
Yeah.
Right.
Just feel loved.
Just to feel loved, just to feel wanted, just to feel appreciated, right?
We all do.
Or even just to feel beautiful as a lady, just to feel beautiful, just to feel like a woman.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like your worth.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you go through it for so long. I went through it for so long, and my friends seen it. They seen it. Like when I mean like they seen it, like they would see a guy that they know that I've been talking to for a long time, and we would see each other in public, and how happy I would get just to see him, just happy. And then he immediately sees me, either won't say anything, go another way, or be like, "Oh, what's up, bruh?" Oh. And I'm just sitting there like, we were just cuddling 2 nights ago. Like, how the fuck? Yeah. You know? Yeah. So it took that, going through that. And it got worse and worse. Till I started to feel like I was being used. Yeah. Not only just for my company, not only just for my time, not only just for me braiding someone's hair. Yeah. I started to feel like I wasn't worth anything. Yeah. Like all I'm good for is just to talk to, braid someone's hair, give someone's money, feed them, and that's it. Yeah. And I got tired of it. Yeah. I got tired of it to the point where I just was like, I didn't want to talk to any guys. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to just focus on me, and I had to separate myself from family, from friends, and really just focus on me. And I started to really think about, what do I want? What do I want to do? What do I seriously want to do? I stopped going to school. I was about to graduate from SF State. Wow. To be a teacher, elementary school teacher, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to actually move to the islands to teach elementary. Yeah. And I stopped because I felt like that was what everyone was expecting me to do, along with so much more. People wanted me to graduate so I could move and be a teacher and help out everyone in the islands. People wanted me to continue braiding hair. People wanted me to crochet this. People wanted me to help out with this, help out with this, help out with this. And I stopped everything. Dropped out of school. Didn't want to talk to anybody. Completely went a whole different route. And I said, I need to focus on me and what I want. It's going to be lonely. And it's going to suck. And it did. It was lonely. Yeah. I was sad sometimes. I was depressed sometimes. Mm-hmm. But at the end of it, I was happy. And I was getting stronger every single day. Yeah. And then I did what I wanted to do. I started my transition. I had my surgeries. I went through everything. And now that I've done all of that, like, I'm very proud of myself, you know, for doing that on my own without anyone's help. Yeah. You know? And whenever I look back on it, I'm just like, it was so worth it. Yeah. It was so worth it. Even like when I see the guys that put me through hell, I'm always like, hey, you married with 2 kids by a girl you don't even like. That's cute. Have fun. Like, you know, I'm always like, and I hate to say it, but it's, I love it because they are the ones that help push me to be strong and just to make it through. And I have no regrets.
Did they have that look, like that regret look?
Many of them do. Many of them still text me to this day. Oh, wow. It's kind of like, sorry, or like, hey, we should kind of like get a cup of coffee and just talk. And I know it's on like a friendly thing. But then also, there's many of them that found out that I had surgeries and they're like, I'm trying to see what that's like. Yeah. What's up with that? Yeah, what's up with that? And I'm just like, nope. Yeah. You know? But I don't regret any of it. It was some dark times, but I'm so glad I went through it. Yeah. Because it made me much stronger. Yeah. Much stronger.
So did you do anything specific? Like, did you surround yourself with good people? Did you read some books? Like, you know, like, what did you, like, you know, how did you, like, because I'm just trying to, like, give somebody, like, a guideline of that's more material that they could actually do. So what did you do, like, to just change that mindset and just stop caring? Was just that just predicated on just being tired of your circumstances? Enough was enough.
The first thing I definitely did was I had to really ask myself, I'm going through all this stress and dealing with all of this, and yet neither one of them has even offered to help me.
That's deep. Yeah.
Not one of them offered to help with food. No one offered to help get my nails done. No one offered to help. No one offered to see. No one even simply was just like, are you okay?
Yeah.
No one said, what do you want to do? So I had to surround myself with people that asked me that. Because me being who I am, like I'm a Pisces. I'm a very nurturing person.
Yeah.
I'm a very giving person.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, hey, how are you? What do you need? I'll give you my last, you know? And I won't seek anything in return.
Yeah.
I've always been like that.
Yeah.
But then there came a time where I just had to be like, I need to surround myself with people that thought like that.
That reciprocate.
Yeah.
I love.
And I did. I started to just venture off to other areas within the city that I never been around, and it was uncomfortable at first, but I started to meet some really good people that would see me. I remember one time I walked into a bar. I was like, I want a beer. Walked into a bar, don't know anyone there.
Yeah.
And I sat down, and this probably like 70-something-year-old man looked at me dead in my face and said, how are you? Can I buy you a beer? And I just looked at him. I said, yes, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Like, and that just, I was like, wow, this is a great place.
Yeah.
And it took like stuff like that. It took surrounding myself with people that actually gave a fuck.
Yeah.
That actually cared about my day.
Yeah.
That actually had questions. That actually like was truly concerned. That actually text me when I got home.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that actually responded to my text. I was like, did you make it home safe? They're like, yes. Did you make it home safe?
Yeah.
Yes. I had to surround myself with people like that.
Yeah.
You know? And I had to read some books just to help take my mind off things.
Yeah.
I started to get more into my crafts that help me just center myself. Because when I do my crafts, I not only do it because I love it, but I do it because it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, therapeutic.
Very therapeutic.
Yeah.
And the thought of giving someone something that I made with my hands is always beautiful to me.
Yeah.
So that definitely helped. And just simply just taking care of myself day by day, asking myself, are you satisfied with what you've done for today? Mm-hmm. No? Okay, try doing something else, you know?
Yeah.
And just really stepping out of, you'll be surprised the things that you can accomplish and just like how you feel when you step out of your comfort zone and do something different, or just surround yourself with people that are different. Mm-hmm. It's really nice. And that's what I did. Whether whether I was just like, it's 6 a.m, I'm going to go to the bar. I know I shouldn't, but that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That is what would make me happy. Mm-hmm. And I just went and did it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even like me just having a drink at 6 a.m. It's me just having a cup of coffee, because the bars have coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm just there chilling, enjoying company with people, talking, you know? And it was stuff like that that really just helped me just center myself and be more confident within myself, mm-hmm. and to be strong and to be able to have dialogues like this. Yeah. Because I would have never had this in high school. Yeah. If you would have seen me in high school, you would have been like this. I want to talk to you about your journey. I looked at you like this.
Oh, it would have been
and I just would have been like, and then I would have kept walking. You would have been like, that was rude.
Or even if you did talk, it'd probably be a depressing,
right? depressing state. I'm like, what do you want to know? Okay, I'm sad.
I'm like, oh, okay. I feel attacked.
In record.
Oh, okay. Did you end up having to cut a lot of people from your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that really tough?
It was, but yeah, it was. Yeah. It was sad.
Yeah.
I have a friend that me and him, when we see each other, we don't have to talk, because we know, like, you can just feel it.
Yeah.
And those that know me, that would probably see this, they probably know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We he was toxic.
Yeah.
He was toxic. He was very much so, like, if I say it like this, if he was a king, right? Mm-hmm. And he had his queen. He had his wife. He had his queen. And he had his entire palace. He had everything he asked for. If he had the power to keep me locked in a cage for him to use whenever he wanted, he would do it.
Wow.
He would do it.
Yeah.
And when I mean he would do it, he would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He wasn't like he never made me feel unloved, but he never made me feel
loved,
like I mattered.
Okay.
Right? Like you can't be with me, have a girlfriend, continue to be with me and tell me to respect your relationship with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
But yet you're sleeping with me. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And then tell me that I need to pick up the phone whenever you call because that's when I need to be used type of thing. Like no.
That's a lot of that's controlling.
And it's crazy because me and him built such a strong friendship at first, like strong, loving, caring, genuine friendship. And then when he came to terms with his identity, and he felt like he was strong enough to tell me how he truly felt about me, his attraction towards me, which was great at the time because that's what I wanted.
Yeah. And
then when it got deeper into it, it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy, and I had to cut him off.
Yeah.
And when we see each other to this day, like there's just it's like this force. Like we see each other and we know the history that we have. We feel it. It's there, but we can't. I can't
relive it.
I can't. Not even relive it. I just can't be around him by myself because I know what he's going to try to say and I know what he's going to try to do.
Yeah.
Because he texted me and just recently told me, you know that's mine.
Yeah.
So you need to give it to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is 2020 and this man is telling me that my coochie belongs to him. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and this was someone that I consider to be one of my great friends that genuinely loves and cares about me, but he truly feels this way.
That's more like ownership, huh?
Oh yeah, and
you feel like he owns you or something.
Like I'm a mistress. I'm a concubine, right? And so I had to let it go, and it was sad because like I genuinely miss him, and that's for a lot of other people too. Yeah. It's been like that, and I genuinely miss them, you know. But no, I can't because that's stressful. That's like at the end of the day, I'm the one that's alone. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah. Like, you know? Yeah. Trying to figure out my next move, but I can't. Yeah. So.
So have you had friends? I know you did mention before that you had a lot of friends growing up, but then when you finally embraced who you were, a lot of them started dropping. You know. Have you had friends that you had to cut off, but they tried to come back into your life? Like how do you deal with that?
I have not experienced that. Yeah. I haven't. But it's funny because a few of my guy friends have been saying hi to me lately, and it's just kind of weird. It's weird. It's like we haven't spoken since we were like 15, and we're now in our 30s. Yeah. And like you, and what makes it weirder is that these people are so entangled with my family. Yeah. Like they come to my family's house. I see them at functions, like, and this has been going on for years. And then all of a sudden, like now, they're like, "Hi, Nesi," and I'm just like, it's like, and I'm not a fake person. Like, if ask Lonnie, she'll tell you. Yeah, yeah. I'm usually the friend that you have to be like, be nice, smile. Like I'm one of those ones because I won't know, and I'm just like,
you gotta let them know.
Why say hi to me now? After, like what? And then in the back of my mind, I'm really thinking, what do you want? Yeah. You're trying to find a way to have it benefit you. Yeah. And then that's when it usually comes into skill. Yeah. Either someone wants their hair done, or something else.
There's something that they need from me.
Yeah, something that they need from me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no. So I haven't experienced, like, none of them have been like, came back like, I want to be friends with you, or like, let's try to figure out where this went wrong. Because I know for a fact they're not going to want to address what happened.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to make them look like shit.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to address that.
Would you be open for that?
Yeah, I would.
If somebody came back to you and said,
if they want to hear it, they just need to be ready.
Yeah.
I'll laugh at them forever. But I'll forgive them.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of them just would not be ready for that dialogue.
Yeah, it's going to be
They would not be ready for that. Because it's going to bring up so much. It's going to bring up so much.
Yeah, because they don't understand what you went through.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's going to be a hard conversation to go.
Yeah.
So, you know, I do want to talk about support systems.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, you know, of course, you know, being a lady is one of the hardest things you can do, especially within our Polynesian culture. But I also know our Polynesian culture is also tied to church.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to talk about that, because I know not only you get that stigma from your family, but when you add church into it, religion to it, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So can you talk about that, like, you know, your experience of trying to figure out who you are, to embrace who you are, but then when it comes to our values, when it comes to our religion, what they preach and what they teach is opposite of the life that you're living.
Yeah.
So you have to, I'm sure you had to battle a lot of.
So you know what's interesting? I've never had to.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so fortunate. I'm so blessed.
That's why I want to talk about this. Yeah.
That I've gone to churches where
they embraced,
where they've never questioned it with me, or it's never been brought up. Everyone's been very welcoming, even the priest. But I think a big part of that is because not everyone knows that I'm a lady.
Yeah.
Because like I'm just going to be very honest with you. Like, I don't look like.
Oh yeah.
I don't look trans. Whatever that means, right?
Yeah.
I can pass, and that's something that we have within the trans community. Whether you can pass as a female, or not, right? So I think if I was someone that was more like if I did
it was more apparent in your physical appearance.
In my physical appearance, then I think it would raise a lot of questions. You know.
Yeah.
But the fact that it doesn't, and the way that I carry myself, like, you know, when I come into church, like with my Samoan church, I wear a pulatasi, my hair is in a bun, I wear a hat, you know, or sometimes I don't wear a hat, but I'm very, you know, I sing with the choir, everything's good. My Tongan side, I wear a tavala or a kikie, and everything's fine. You know, no one says anything, no one questions me, like, why are you dressed up with the girls, like, or like, why are you asking about this, or why are you here? I've been very blessed and fortunate that I've never had to go through that. Knock on wood, because I don't know what's to happen. I don't know how I would react.
Yeah.
And I think that I think that part of it is because of how I carry myself.
Okay.
But a lot of people in my churches know that I'm a lady, and they're totally fine with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's never an issue. I'm always welcomed. Everyone's always happy to see me. It's nothing but smiles. If anything, people are asking me, when are you getting married? When are you having kids? And I'm like, when y'all find me a husband, I'll be ready.
Oh, that's what the polys say every time. All the OGs.
Right? I'm like, find me a husband, I'm ready. So, you know, anybody out there. Yeah, like I'm just glad that I never had to go through that, and I feel like a lot of my church members are very supportive. Even like when I've gone to functions and I dance, everyone's very supportive. The priest is very supportive. The pastor is very supportive. My dad has a brother that's a pastor in LA. He's really nice. Every time he sees me, it's nothing but just love and happiness, and he's always, when are you coming to my church? You need to, the members need to meet you. You need to come show them a few things. And I'm like, oh, uncle. Or even like my dad's sister, she's the first lady up in Sacramento. So when I go up there, it's nothing but just love and happiness and just encouragement there. And it's beautiful. And I actually look forward to church. Very, very much so. Like I'm always I'm always looking forward to it, because sometimes I have questions, or I just want to go just because I miss going.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, or even like with my black side, that's a very different story, right? Because we, not only they're just not accepting of the whole atheist thing, but within church, that's kind of like you just don't bring it in there.
Yeah, it's like that's blasphemy.
Yeah, don't bring it in there. Like, don't spit in God's face like that. You know, how dare you? So those times left me very like, I never wanted to go to church. Like, I was very much so like, no, I don't want to go to church. No one was supporting me. Everyone was judging me. It was kind of like, you do this, don't do that. And I'm like, I thought we were supposed to be happy. Like, I'm like, I thought we were supposed to be singing and be happy, but I'm constantly getting hit, you know? Yeah. So that was then. But now I love going to church. I'm always happy, always feel at home. And that's very much so when I'm with my poly side, when I'm going to church. I feel very safe. Yeah. You can say that. Feel very safe. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have do you know a lot of ladies within your circle of friends? Mm-hmm. Do you also talk to a lot of these that are like, you know, that not that haven't come out yet, you know, they just keep it within themselves?
No. All of my lady friends, they're very out. Yeah. We're known. We're known like within our communities. Yeah. And we're all very different. Like, you know, I'm the only one that's trans. Okay. I'm the only one that's female. Okay. Right? Yeah. My other ones are straight male, like just feminine, like just gay guys, like, you know, like gay ladies. But I'm the only one that's like more of like the female ladies. Mm-hmm. So we all have different struggles, and we all have different stories. But we talk about it. Like, you know, we talk about dating. Yeah. We talk about church. We talk about cultural functions. Yeah. We're kind of like, you know, when you're at church and you see the men over there drinking kava and the old ladies are doing niti and stuff like that, and then you'll see us on the side talking about everybody else. That's pretty much like kind of like us. Like, you know, we talk about things that go on. We talk about like work, and it's good. Like it's fun. It's great because we kind of like share our stories with each other to be that support system, to let each other know that your stories are valid. And that our life is valid, right? And that our presence is needed, in so many ways as well. So I haven't had any closeted lady friends in a very long time. Very long time.
Different question. Have you ever met somebody and you felt that they were in the closet?
What? Oh. Yes. Yes? Yes, of course.
Because you know the vibes.
The gaydar. We know. We us ladies have this gift. We have many gifts, but we have a gift. And we know when we see a family member. Yeah. And we know when that family member is not out, and we know when that family member is out. Or we know when that family member hasn't told everybody else. Yeah. There are certain people that knows. You know, we know these things. Yeah. And we be that support system for them on their terms. Right? Yeah. We never want to force no one to come out. We never want to break someone's closet down. But I definitely see that. I see that. And it can be scary. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So for like my lady friends that are just like gay guys, they see it, you know, like they meet people and they know, and then things happen, and that's great, you know. But for me, sometimes it could be kind of scary because a lot of people don't really, like, I'll see that they're a lady, but they don't know that I'm a lady.
Gotcha.
So they're like holding it from me, and I'm just like, sis. Or I'm just like, boy, I know what you like. It's okay. I won't tell nobody. Or I'm just like, you had to be drunk to say all that. Okay. I'm like, you had to be drunk to say all that. So, but yeah, like I definitely I sense vibes from people, and it's life. Yeah. Yeah. I never act on it. I never be like, but it happens. It happens. Yeah. And for some people, I've noticed that they show that side during different times. Some people show that side when it's just them and one friend. Some people show that side when they see that there's other ladies around and they see how people are accepting of those vocal ladies. So they slowly but surely throw in their little 2 cents and start to show themselves. And I've seen people completely get blacked out drunk, and then I'll be like, oh, that's what you are.
Yeah.
That's great. Do it over there. I'm not into it. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've definitely seen it and sensed it many times.
This is my own curiosity. Was it?
Oh yeah, no. Totally.
So you do see that both in single and married? Oh wow.
When you're like you see a lot.
Yeah.
You see a lot from single people, from married people, from young people, from old people, from the super flamboyant, from the super manly, masculine, super hood. You see it all.
Oh wow.
And I think that one thing that I'm saying that I'm so happy is that I have a personality to where people feel comfortable sharing things with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know a lot of stuff about a lot of people that many people don't know.
Yeah.
And I've always been like at first I was just like, oh, why are you always telling me this? Like, I don't want to know these things. Like, I don't ask you about this. But over time, I've seen it like I have something in me to where they feel comfortable enough.
I think that's a beautiful,
sharing things.
That's a beautiful thing to have.
Or I've been in situations to where like I've had people be like, me and my wife want to experience this, and we feel comfortable experiencing this with you.
Oh wow.
Yes, plenty of times. I've been asked that.
By experience, I mean
sex.
Oh wow. Okay, I was trying to.
Sex. Yes, so that has happened to me many times. Mostly from straight couples. I usually get it from like a male and a female, or I've gotten it just guys that tell me like that they've had some type of attraction towards me. They've never known how to act upon it. And usually I would know. There's probably like only one time I was completely thrown off. I was like, I had no clue. That was only because like I never paid attention to the guy. I was like, I never, like, you don't even go here. Like, I've never paid attention to you. So, but yeah, it's definitely like I've had some experiences with people that are hilarious, that are very sad, but also it's been very like, wow, like I never known that people feel that way about me. Yeah. And so I've always just been blessed and happy that I have that personality where people feel comfortable to even say that, even if I reject them, like, oh, thank you, but no, thank you. But if you're like, they've been like, oh, okay, thank you, I appreciate that, thank you for receiving it so well, and we go on about our business. Yeah. Because usually I don't want to do anything with the female, I just want the guy. Duh, no, it's like, but yeah.
No, I think that's a beautiful thing you have, the gift. So glad you didn't give up.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about your decision to be a trans. Can you walk through it? Can you just talk about the beginning with that thought process when you started entertaining it?
So
and why you decided to do it for yourself?
Okay. So I'm going to tell you now because I don't want you to offend anyone else that you may speak.
Okay.
Don't say decision.
Okay.
And don't say entertain.
I apologize.
Okay. No, it's okay. Well, I know you mean. I know it comes from a good heart. Yeah. Now it comes from a good heart.
My bad. I apologize. Everybody out there, I apologize. I'm learning.
So I always felt like I was a female when I was little, like very much so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think for me, I never felt like a boy. Like whatever that feeling was, like I never felt it.
There's always been this debate, in society, right? Yeah. Whether it's nurture or choice, if it's a choice or you're born.
And I can tell you, it was not a choice. Yeah. I wouldn't have chosen this life.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, I could look at you dead in your eyes. I wouldn't have chosen this life. It's a tough life. It's a rough life. It's sad. Sometimes it's depressing. It can make you suicidal. It's scary. It's scary because you learn at a young age that the world, like many places in the world, does not care about you. And you learn at a young age that many people think something's wrong with you. Mm-hmm. And you also learn that many people think that you should not have happiness.
Yeah.
And you learn that many people think you should die.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know? So I knew at a young age that I was like, I am a girl. Mm-hmm. Like them girls, that's me. I'm just bald and I'm flat chested. Yeah. There's a difference, right? So,
I like the optimism,
right? I'm just flat chested, but I'm gonna develop. That was my plan. I'm gonna develop when I get older, right? So, I always felt like a female. I never felt like a boy, and I always was uncomfortable with having all of that. Yeah. Always uncomfortable. Yeah. And it's funny because, like, you know, like just the things like that boys would do, like, you know, once you guys reach puberty, kind of like the whole like girls thing, or, you know, some boys do certain other things, stuff like that. I never was. It was never me. Yeah. Like never. Yeah. And I remember at a young age, I knew I was going to do my transition once I figured it out. Yeah. I just needed to figure out where to go, who to talk to get it started. Yeah. Right. I didn't tell my mom. I did not tell Lonnie. I didn't tell nobody that I was starting my transition. Yeah. I did it, and then I started to tell people once they started noticing things. Yeah. Right? And I was ready. I knew that once I started this transition, I had to start preparing myself to be by myself. Because not everyone was going to support it. Yeah. And not everyone did. Yeah. But it was more so like me being little, like, you know, young flamboyant gay kid. I'm just like, I don't feel like a boy. I'm a girl. Yeah. How do I get rid of this? Like, what do I do? And as I got older, I started to hear things like, you go here for that, you do this for that, you talk to this person for that. I started meeting people, and I started hearing where did they go for this, and I started putting stuff together. And I was at a point where I need to have my outside reflect my inside. Yeah. Because the fact that my outside does not reflect my inside, it makes me feel, one, uncomfortable. It made me feel ugly. Yeah. Right? So, like, for example, I'm going to use you as an example. Yeah. In college, if you would have came up to me and said, hey, Tootie, I like you. Can I take you out for a cup of coffee? Or can I take you out for a walk? I probably would have been like, one, in shock. Two, I would have been like, no. And I would have dodged you like crazy. And it's not because I wouldn't have wanted to, because of you. It's because I don't feel beautiful. Like, I don't feel that. Yeah. And I would want us to be like a beautiful couple. We can't be beautiful if I don't feel beautiful. Gotcha. I don't feel good about myself. Yeah. So I knew I had to do that transition. Mm-hmm. And I was ready for it, and I did it. And it was one hell of a journey. Yeah. But I did it.
And I know you said you just completed it. Was it a couple months ago, right?
A couple weeks ago.
3
weeks ago.
So when you came out, like, what was your first emotions when everything was complete? And you finally saw yourself the way you wanted to see.
So that was actually funny because I had that moment 3 days ago. Okay. I was getting out the shower and I was getting dressed, and I had like literally just like my underwear on. Yeah. And I have like this long mirror. Yeah. And I was looking at myself, and I was like,
damn.
I was like, you a bad bitch. And I was like, okay. And I called Lonnie, FaceTime Lonnie, and I'm like in my underwear, and she's at work, and I'm like, look at me, girl, I'm popping. And Lonnie was like, are you naked? Are you naked on video chat? And I'm like, yes, look at me. And like full on feeling myself. Yeah. And I was just like I am so happy. Yeah. Like, just not only happy with myself, but just happy with life. And now, like, I'm ready. Like, I'm building my career, which I'm really happy, and I'm at a career where I actually get to like help people. And not just any people, I get to help like my people. I get to help Black people and poly people. Yeah. Like, I'm working in San Francisco for a property management company. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. And I love that. And now I'm actually ready to, like, I feel confident enough to like accept someone's invitation for a date or a walk at a park or a cup of coffee, you know? Like, I feel that. Like, I'm ready for that now. But back then, heck no. But just a few days ago, looking in the mirror, I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, so, I mean, did you ever I guess you probably had that moment, right? You just thought about how much you've gone through and to get to this point.
Oh yeah. There was I was
like a retrospective type of.
I was sitting at my friend's house. I was having a cup of coffee with his mom.
Yeah.
One thing about me, I get along with the old people like crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you need someone to chill with your grandma, call me. I'll take her mind off you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It makes me determined to keep not only living my life and living my truth, but to keep doing better for myself, and also to just keep doing better for everyone else, and just to be that person that I wish I had, for other people, right? And also it just makes me think about when I become a mom, because I do want kids.
Yeah.
And just to think about like what type of mom I want to be, and also what type of partner I want to be for my husband or my boyfriend whenever that happens. Just to be that. So I'm glad I went through all that, because it's helping shape all of that that's coming in the future. Yeah. But I reflect on that from time to time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just be sitting down, I'll be listening to music, and I'll just be like, these past 3 years was some shit. I'm like, but I did it.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, this 2020 year, this COVID year, ain't got nothing. I'm like, this pandemic, I'm like, I dealt with that.
Let's take a break. All right, so next topic, I want to talk about relationships.
Why am I blushing now?
So yeah, can you just talk about your experience? Trying to figure out love in your life, and the things you go through, and the challenges and obstacles that you go through.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about it.
So I would say that it has been an annoying struggle.
Yeah.
Not only just trying to find love, but just to be happy in a relationship.
Yeah.
And just to find a relationship,
Yeah.
right? So I think that for me in particular, what makes it difficult is that, like I said, people don't know that I'm a lefty.
Yeah.
They have no clue. So a lot of times recently, when I meet a guy, like he's very respectful, like very nice, super sweet, like very genuine, and it's like a gentleman, and I'm like, great, like this is going great, everything's cool, and this is before I even sense that there's like an attraction, right?
Yep.
Because when I meet someone off back, I just don't tell them I'm a lady.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to.
But if I feel like you're trying to come on to me, I will tell you so that you know.
So that it's clear.
Out of respect, and that it's clear.
Yeah.
So I meet a guy like, super nice, super chill, and when I feel that he's like trying to make that move, I'm sitting in my head like, oh god, yeah, the equal's about to land. 5 seconds. I'm always like, oh yeah, well, just so you know, like I'm trans, yada yada yada. The gentleman part is cut. Then it goes into like a rude sexual person.
Oh wow.
To where it's like, oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
You sure? And I'm like, I'm sure. And they're like, so you cut off your that's gone, and you those real? Like those real? Or it's like, I bet you could suck a mean.
Yeah.
And it's like it completely shifts.
Yeah. Right?
Into like this rude, disrespectful person. It can go to people trying to use me like a lab rat, like I'm an experiment.
Yeah. Like
they want to kiss someone like me,
yeah.
or do something to someone like me, or they have all these burning questions, which I don't mind sometimes, but I'm like, if you're trying to like date me, just say that.
Yeah.
If you're trying to use me for an experiment, say that so I can say no.
Yeah, but don't try to mask it something
right?
else.
Yeah, like if you're trying to have a quickie, say that.
Yeah.
If you're cute enough, you might get lucky. You might get lucky. I might want one too.
Yeah.
But like, just be honest. Say that. But it opens up so many doors for different dialogues to where it's just like, damn. Like I've been, and then it also comes into this term that we have called the DL, like the download guys.
Yeah.
And that, like, there have been moments where I have people in my DMs that I know either want to date me, or just simply want to spend time with me romantically, but they're like afraid to say it. And then I see these guys out in the street. Like, I might see them hanging out with my brothers. Yeah. I might see them at a function. Might see them at church. Like it happens. Like I'll be driving by, I might see them with their girlfriends. Yeah. I might see them with their wives. Yeah. And I'm just like, aren't you da-da-da-da's dad? And you're, this is really happening. Yeah. I'm like, I'm really being hit on by someone that I know's father. Yeah, yeah. Like it happens, and it sucks, right? Because then it brings into question this, like, you don't value me as a person.
As a person, yeah.
And you don't value me as a woman. Like, I don't deserve that love that you would give her, right?
Just like a piece of meat.
Even though she treated you like shit.
Yeah.
And you just met me, but because I'm a Leiti, you think that I need to be treated this way. Like I'm only a sexual object. Yeah. Or I'm just a fantasy for some people. Yeah. And it sucks because at that point it's like that's when it goes back to when I was saying that's like, you know, you kind of do things that you normally wouldn't do to feel loved or to feel that comfort, right? Mm-hmm. So relationships sometimes it can suck. Mm-hmm. I've only had, I would say, out of all the guys I've dated, I only say like one, my most recent ex, he is the only one that genuinely made me feel love, that made me feel wanted, made me feel important, and even still to this day, he can shoot me a text right now and I'll be the happiest woman on earth. Yeah. Like the happiest. Like that type of, like that love that me and him have for each other is a love that I feel like not only every Leiti should have, but just everyone should have, period, right? Yeah. That love to where you know that your partner got your back because you got their back. Yeah. And if that's the case, then you can take on anything. Yeah. Like a simple text could just brighten up your day to where you like, all right, I got this. I'm about to knock this day out at work, right? Yeah. You want that feeling. Yeah. And it sucks because sometimes for my people, we don't get it. Yeah. We really don't. And we always get the back burner. Yeah. And then it brings into, we're told we're the ones that's wrecking the home.
Yeah, home wreckers.
It's our fault. Yeah. We're out there tricking men. Yeah. You know.
Confusing men.
Or other times it was like this, oh, you the one that was trying to get at me, and I'm like this, all I did was say that I was trans when you just was trying to kiss me. Yeah. How is that me trying to get, I'm just trying to be respectful. Yeah, yeah. Like I could just not tell you. Yeah. And just blast it out the next day. Yeah. Like I could do that. Yeah. Right? But I'm not, you know. No. So relationships, like any person, is challenging, but it's even more challenging for someone like me because I don't look trans. Yeah. So that is always at the back burner. And then my physical safety comes into play as well. Yeah. Right? Because the last thing we want is me trying to respect the person, letting them know that I'm trans, and then I end up, my body's found somewhere in a creek. Right? And then the story's flipped to how I was the homewrecker or I did something to provoke it, you know? But relationships have been up and down, crazy and good, fun and naughty and bad and how dare you to, yes, I did. You know, all of that. Yeah. In one, and I'm glad I went through it. Yeah. I'm definitely glad I went through it because it helped shape. But it also has definitely gotten me to understand like what I like, what I don't like, what I find attractive, what I don't find attractive, what I look for in a partner, what I look for in a husband. Yeah. And yeah, it's definitely. But now I'm patient with it. Back then, I was just like, just please, like someone. Like at City College, when all the girls was dating someone from the football team, I wanted someone from the football team too. Yeah. I'm like, I want to date someone for the football team. Like I have no one to cheer for. Yeah. Give me a number so I could cheer for them, just to feel happy. You know, just to feel like I got somebody, even though the person on the team has no idea what I'm doing up there. But yeah, like now dating is more so like people are like starting. I've noticed that now people are starting to like tell me how they feel about me. Like I've noticed like a few a few guys that I like see at like my local bars, or like a certain group of friends would be like, oh, like Nesi, yeah, she's pretty. You know, I'll talk to her, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Ew. Or I'm like this. Why didn't you say anything?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay. But it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, and I know that it's tough on the guy as well, because I know it makes him question, well, if I like you, does that mean that I'm gay? Right? Like, does that mean that? And I'm always like, no, because if you see me as a woman and I have a vagine and some boobs, it shouldn't be like that. So I know that it's tough on the guy as well. And that's stuff that me, like in my previous ex, me and him talked about that a lot when we first started dating. We talked about it a lot, and we know that it takes the guy, he has to have like a certain amount of maturity and confidence within himself to not see me as a man. Like if you see me as a woman, then you know that you're dating a woman and everything is fine.
And also dealing with all the stuff that he has to deal with his own family and
because I have to deal with it too. Like my mom's side was like, don't date a white person. And like my previous boyfriend was just as white as they come, like hillbilly, illiterate Trump supporter. But like we love each other to death. Like love that man. And then like my poly side is like, are you gonna date a poly? And I'm like, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable for saying this. I've always been like, I'm gonna marry a Tongan man. And I've always said that. I'm like this, if he can wear a tupenu with a ta'avala and he look good, that's my man. That's who I need to marry. And I've been very vocal about that. But it's I know that whoever I end up dating or marry again, it's going to be a little bit of work we have to put in, like any relationship. But I would always want him to know that I got his back. You know, like I got you. If you got me, I got you, and we go make it work. If we're serious about it. If not, then pom pom.
So
make it funny.
Since there's gonna be a lot of people watching this, so you might as well put it out there. What kind of man are you looking for? You never know, you might meet your future husband through this podcast. They might see you, and they might send you a DM later.
Well, of course he got to be handsome. Have all his teeth.
No nifokola?
I know how. Well, you can have a nifokola. I can deal with that. But if he got missing teeth, we're not like people be talking about. Let me see your nudes. Let me see your credit score. No, let me see your teeth. Because I need to know. No, but on a serious note, just someone that's chill, someone that's down to earth, someone that is not afraid to communicate things with me. I'm not asking to be all out there in the open. Just be real and know that if we're with each other, just know that we should have each other back, and just know that I got you. And like, you don't have to be perfect. I don't want a perfect man. Like I don't. There's no challenge, there's no growth with that at all. I want someone that wants me, and if you like me, say it. Like tell me. You can shoot in the DMs, ask for my number. I like coffee. I like tea. I like walks. Like I'm a very simple girl, so it doesn't take much to wow me. Just as long as you tried.
Okay.
That's all I say.
So what I got from that, just wear a tupendo and a davalo, and you're 90% there. You can work on the other 10%. You're already 90%.
90%.
Oh man. Alright. Pause right there. Alright, cool. So I know we've we've kind of talked a lot about the dark stuff. Right? I want to talk more about the light.
Okay.
Alright. So I want you to talk about your passion, things you do, things you love to do. Like who you are as a person.
Wow. So I'm definitely that person that loves to find ways to give back to whether that's the community or people. Although I might look shy or I might look angry, I'm actually like a very gentle, warm-hearted person, right? So, like what I do now, I work for property management in San Francisco's Bayview district.
Yep.
So I run 3 apartment complex buildings in a low-income neighborhood, and I love it. I love it each and every day. Just seeing my tenants, helping them, making sure that they have what they need to continue to live in the apartments that they live in. I love everything about that, and just being able, and also part-time I work at a nursing home, taking care of old people. So and I think one reason why I love that is because of my poly side, of how we always take care of our elders, and we always cherish our moments with them. And I love being able to do that, because I no longer have my grandmas. I only have one grandma left, my black grandma. She's the only one I have left. And just being able to spend time with elders, listen to them, whether that's feeding them, changing them, massaging them, just hearing their stories. Like, I definitely love that, and my poly side has definitely taught me that so much, and I love it. Another, like, the person I am is very crafty. I'm a very crafty person. I love art.
I know you shared you make you knit.
I do knit these, so I like to knit the right now I'm knitting baby stuff, because it's like baby fever. It's like everyone I hear is having a baby, so I'm tired of having nieces and nephews. I also like to knit the ta'ovalas. I also like to weave falas, so that's another thing. My grandma actually taught me how to weave a fala out of ribbons. Wow. Yeah, so she taught me how to weave falas out of ribbons. Like right here. Oh, I can weave one of these.
Oh, nice.
I used to braid hair a lot. I kind of slowed down with that. I might braid every blue moon, but it depends on the person. It really depends on the person.
How much you like the person.
But I like to knit. I'm very crafty. And I'm a very just like homey, nurturing type of person, and I think actually both sides for that, because it took being raised by both sides, grandparents and aunts and uncles, that really helped bring like that soft side out of me. More so my poly side, more like the soft, gentle side. And I'm definitely into right now. It's like gardening and planting things, and definitely start to develop a green thumb. So I've been like slowly eyeing your uncle's plants, and I was like, oh, I have that plant. Oh, I have that plant. That's definitely me. And I'm always into doing taulunga. Like, I love to taulunga at any chance. You can sometimes catch me at work in my office playing a Tongan song, and I'm doing a taulunga, and the people are walking by like, go Nesi! Or like you'll see some of my tenants start to dance with me. So that's another thing that I'm really, really passionate about, and just passionate about
you just love the culture.
Happy, in my cultures. Very, very passionate about my cultures. I wear pulitajas to work. Like, I'm one of probably like, I don't think I've ever met any other girl in the States that's worn a pulitaja to work, like, to the corporate office too. Like, I'm full on there, and people are like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's a pulitaja or pulitasi. It's nice. It's from the islands. I'm wearing it. Yes, it's professional. And they're just like, okay. And like, I love it. You know, that's something I'm very passionate about my culture. And I wish that there was more ways that I can show that to other people. So with that being said, I've already started to teach other people how to niti at my job. That's my that's how I spend my lunch breaks sometimes at work. And I'm also starting to learn how to niti like our, what do you call them? It's like a kafu. What do you say? Like a mono?
Oh,
like
big
ones?
Like
definitely.
A blanket, like a big blankets.
The big blankets. I'm definitely starting to get into doing those, niti those. So if you know anyone that's trying to teach someone, let me know. I'll come.
I got you. So do you ever make videos of yourself making these things, or?
Oh no.
No?
Of course not.
You don't have TikTok?
Nope. Not doing a TikTok. It's like my first time really being on video. So you're lucky, Will.
Oh, appreciate it.
But me, TikTok, I just never.
No, never do a talunga TikTok.
No, I'm everyone is always trying to get me to do the challenge, and I'm like, no. Oh, there's another. I do, and I hope I'm not bashed for saying this. I really want to doa.
Doa? Oh!
Yes. I really want to.
Yeah, doa? Oh, you know, funny, I was just about to ask you that question. You were talking about when you were at the fight Kava and you were on the side. I was going to ask you that question. Yeah,
I really want to doa. Like, really bad. I do want to. Doa? I've only done it, like, one time, like but I don't think it really counts. Like my brothers and cousins, like my girlfriend, they were all drinking, and then they happened to be drinking kava, and it was like a group of like 7 Tongan guys, and they was like, "No, a girl has to come to'a," and they were like, "Nesi, you come." So I had to come and sit there and serve.
You know what? I was actually.
But I would like to though.
I don't know. Have you seen my the last couple of videos I've made? This is me and my friend. We were talking about this. We were having a discussion, but then we were like fight Kava. You seen that? It's called. I shot an episode. It's called Kava Talks.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah.
I may probably seen a glimpse of it, but I don't think.
Yeah. So it's just me. You know, it was me and my friend. We were fight Kava, and we were just talking about random topics that we just our own life. And then I shot an episode. I shot the first episode last Saturday.
Okay.
So, but it's funny because me and my friend, we were trying to find a doa so somebody can doa us while we fight Kava and while we're talking. So on the next episode,
I've never done it before. So, but I'm
gonna shoot you. I'm gonna let you know right now.
Yeah.
So if you do, I do have a next episode next month, and if you do want to doa for us, so you can be the doa, and then you serve us the kava, and then we can shoot them, and we just talk. And if you want to jump in our conversation, we can all talk and just talk about.
I'm down.
You can be the doa for us.
I'm down.
All right, for sure.
Yeah. Do you think everybody would be okay with that?
Do I look like I'm okay?
Well, I don't know. This is an interesting day.
Not for real. No. No.
I'm down.
I'll be proud if you do it.
Yeah.
No, really.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think that'd be hella cool. And plus, we can have you I think we have some fun conversations with you too.
Oh yeah, that'll be. Of course, it'll be fun.
Have you drank kava before too?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
What do you think about it?
I liked it.
Yeah. Okay. I know most people don't like it, but
I liked it. I wasn't. Yeah. I mean, I drink, so
yeah.
I definitely taste some things that had me like. I mean, I can handle kava. If I said one drink I can't handle, Jägermeister. I don't like black licorice.
Oof, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's
I don't like black licorice.
I've had that like one time. One of my buddies. White people.
But I have had kava before. I liked it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got you. I'll let you know.
Okay. Let me know.
We're gonna have another episode. That'll be dope. So I do want to get away from and just talk about our Polynesian culture. So you're heavily involved in it. You know a lot about Polynesian. You grew up in it. You are Polynesian. So I just want to talk about like, just the Polynesian things, struggles that we go through being Polynesian. We can talk about anything, and I want you to share what you see, or what a lot of Polynesians go through and suffer from. And I'm sure you watch a lot of stuff I posted. You talk about mental health. You talk about expectations from your parents, being perfect within our culture, gender roles. What do you, in your experience growing up as a Polynesian? Because part of the purpose why I'm doing this, because I want to uplift my culture.
Yeah.
The one thing I know, everything in life has to change, right? So, I feel like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of good things about our culture, and I'm very proud of my culture. I'm proud of being Tongan. That's part of who I am. But I also know there's a lot of things in our culture that doesn't benefit us, not only as a people but as an individual, so that we can grow, like to be the best version of ourselves. Right?
Yeah.
So, what do you see in your experience, based on your own personal experience, or just people that just watching Polynesians, growing up with Polynesians? What do you, in your opinion, like what is the toughest thing of being a Polynesian, and the things that we go through that kind of stops us from finding our happiness and being
asking for help.
Asking for help. Okay.
Asking for help. So, like I said, I work for a property management company, right?
Yeah.
So I have a lot of tenants.
Yeah.
A lot of my tenants are Polynesian. And we know that there are times, just like any family, like there are times where rent could be tight and you may not be able to pay rent that month.
Yeah.
Or you may not be able to pay rent on time. or you may have to pay that month's rent in like increments, like pay half this time and then pay half another time, right? And I tell my tenants that is okay, but please come communicate with me if you need help.
Yeah.
Or even if you just need to let us know, right? I've noticed that, and when I first started working at this job, before anyone even knew me, they just saw like just a black girl, right? It was like there's a new black girl that work in the office. I noticed that a lot of polys would be probably like back on rent or didn't pay or might be late, but they wouldn't say anything. I would call them and ask. I would see them and they would not say anything, and I would be like no one's asking for help, but I can see that you are struggling. Yeah. I can see it. And even like on Fridays at my job, they have a food bank, like a free food bank. You come and get like a big box of veggies, starch, some type of protein. It's free. Take it, and it's like if you portion it well, it's like a good meal that you can have for a few nights, and it's free. It's amazing. I even take a box. You know, it's how I make my lunches for work. I seen that a lot of poly families would not accept it, right? But I can see that they're struggling. Like I see it, right? And it hurts because it's sad because I'm just trying to figure out in the office like how can we get like how can I get our people like to just not only ask for help but accept it as well, or just know that it's there.
And these are families with kids, right?
Families with kids.
Kids, yeah.
With kids and elders.
Elders,
right? And that's something that I've noticed that I've seen with poly families, like even with mine, like, you know, just asking for help. And I think that what comes with that, the fear is like being vulnerable, right? And sometimes our families or people feeling like that they're weak if they ask for help, like when it's the complete opposite, you know? And also feeling like other people are going to find out, because you know people are messy. People are messy. The last thing you want to hear,
Polynesian
like, right?
Polynesian gossip is real.
You know, when them ladies get together and gossip, it's going. Especially if you don't hear nothing in English, it's going down.
It's going down.
They talking about somebody.
When they choose not to speak English,
right? Just be like this.
Oh, this.
I'm trying to hear what they're talking about. That's when you know it's real, right?
Yeah.
So, it sucks because I know that's something that no one wants to be talked about in that way. Like they couldn't pay, like, oh my god, they couldn't pay their rent. Or they asked for it, like they got a free food box. They just don't have food. You know. So I know that sucks.
What's that Samoan word you say? Galof.
Like galof.
Galof. Yeah.
I'm like, this Will can pay his rent. Galof.
In Tongan is fakaleiti. Fakaleiti. Yeah.
So like you don't want to experience that. You don't want to hear that about your family. So that was like one main thing that I feel like our people struggle with so much, and because they don't ask for help, it leads to mental health, right? It leads to abuse. It leads to depression. It leads to people getting sick.
Suicide.
It leads to suicide. It leads to no one crying out for help. It leads to miscommunication or no communication. And it leads to nothing get done, and then what? We're at a funeral, or we're at jail, or we're in a hospital, all like, why didn't no one say anything? Right? So one thing that I did first when I started working at this job, I made it known that there is a Polynesian girl in the office. So I specifically came to work with a puleta hat on. And everyone started to see, and they're like, okay, because the black folks, when they saw me, they was like, girl, I got questions about my rent. You know, they came up asking me everything in the world, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, what about my poly people? So when I came with that puleta hat, BS you not, within hours, poly started coming in like, oh, there's a Fijian girl that works here, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not Fijian. They're like, oh, okay. So like they started to talk to me, and then like once like that trust was built, and they seen that not only am I poly, but like I'm working in a corporate office and I'm here to help them. They started to feel comfortable with telling me. And
I can just tell by your vibes, right? You care. You know, there's difference between helping, but then feeling the intent of sincerity and kindness behind it. Because
they seen that and they felt that, Now they all over me.
Yeah.
They're at work like, I got questions on my rent, Nesi. I'm like, call the office. Just let me eat something, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I definitely see our people struggle with. And I'm trying to use my platform at work as a way to combat that.
Yeah.
And be that support system, not only for just our poly people, but for all people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's not all representation in the workplace.
Yeah.
And we have to be that support system for everybody.
Yeah.
But I definitely see that asking for help within our poly people is like a big issue. Yeah.
Can you share like one of your worst experiences dealing with the family, or just in whatever? You don't have to say specific names, but how you saw some family suffer so much and just refused to get help.
I saw it. There was one time when I was little, actually, in Sunnydale, and I knew that the family was not doing good, because one of the kids who I knew, whenever he came over to my house, he was just like always hungry. And my mom would always be like, oh, boys are always hungry. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, mom, I get that. I'm like, but he's always like, boys are always hungry. Like, boys, they'll snack on anything, like any snack.
Yeah.
But this particular kid, like, he wanted food.
He didn't want snacks.
He didn't want snacks. I'd be like this. Here, you want some gummy bears? My mom just bought some. He's like, no. Like, my mom would go to the store. She'd be like, what do you guys want? And he'd be like, oh, I don't want anything. And I would be like, he's hungry. And I would always see that they were just struggling, like his parents. And it was sad because like we're kids, so like we don't really know what's going on, but we see that something's not right. And then it went on, like whenever they would have there was a summer program, and they'd give out free lunch for the kids. He would like always come down and be eating it. And I was like, why don't you tell like everyone in the family come? Like like some people's parents would come and get free lunch too, because there'd be so much food left over. Yeah. So like parents would come and eat some free lunch, and he would be like, no, like my parents won't come, or like no, like my cousins won't come, my brothers won't come. And all of a sudden, like probably like a few weeks later, I just didn't see them.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see them. Like to this day, I don't know where they are.
What happened? Dang.
I don't know where they are. Like I don't know if they lost their house. And in the projects, to lose your house in the project, you must have had to done something like either really bad, or you just haven't been following up with your paperwork.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot for you to get evicted from a low income housing, right? Because there's so many things and so many programs to help keep you there and protect you, right? But the fact of not asking for help or not even taking it can be very detrimental to our people. Just people in general, but really our people, because we're prideful.
Yeah,
we don't want to ask for help. Like we got this. We want to help you.
Yeah,
you can't help us, but we can help you, right?
Yeah.
Even though the kids are at home struggling eating Siming, like every night, right?
Yeah.
So
I know
it sucks.
What do you think? What do you feel like that we should do about it? Like as far as
I think that sometimes, and this is something that I think about a lot when I'm at work, when I come across families that don't want to ask for help, but I know they need help. If I feel like it's getting to a point where something bad could happen, like they could lose their apartment, the gentle side of me leaves, and I'm just very straight up with them.
Yeah.
Like, you're either going to come talk to me about this, or you're going to get evicted.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
And then they're kind of like, oh snap!
Oh
like,
yeah, this is real.
This is serious.
Yeah.
So when I get them in my office, that's when I kind of like talk to them. Like, if this is going on, talk to me. We have X, Y, and Z programs that can help, because other people here use them. But I feel like what we have to do is we have to start being a little more a little more aggressive, right? When it comes to getting people help, and sometimes it might be us getting cussed out.
Yeah.
It might be somebody being like one of the elders being like, you disrespected us. I'm older than you. You shouldn't have to talk back to me. But if I have to talk back to you in order for you to get the help that you need so you can stay alive and just be here, it needs to happen.
Especially when there's kids.
Right? Especially when there's kids and elders involved.
Yeah.
It's going to have to happen. It's going to suck, but it needs to happen, because we're very gentle and we're just like they said no, so I don't want to go against their wishes because they're elders. And I'm like, but sometimes you have to in order to get it done. Like you have to go that extra mile. And it also shows them that you give a damn. It shows them that you give a damn, because sometimes I'll stay after hours and I'm like there at 6 o'clock at work trying to make it happen for a family, or I'm meeting a family in the office at 6 o'clock in the morning. I've met a family in the office at 7 o'clock in the morning to help them with paperwork so that things get done, not because I not only need to get the work done, but I'm trying to meet them where it's easy for them. But I'm also trying to give them a space where they feel safe, to where they don't feel like people are watching them if they come in the office and ask for help. So sometimes you might have to be the aggressor.
I know that's tough, because I see that all the time with the in the poly community. I know, I mean, I've experienced it myself where I never wanted to share any struggle. Just thinking about my own family, I don't think I've ever shared. I don't think I've ever had a one-on-one conversation with my parents. Just saying, hey, I was going through this. Every single struggle or dark moment in my life, I just learned to deal with my own. And that's such a poly thing, because my black side, when they ask for help, they ask for help. My mom just called me. She called me yesterday morning. She was, daughter, I need help. Can you help pay my rent for the next few months? And I'm like, sure. Click. Click. And I was like, that's fine. Like, on my poly side, you rarely hear crickets.
Like anybody ask for help. And I'm just like, anybody need help? And they're just like, and that's when I'm just like, are you sure?
I know.
That's when I start calling people's name up. I'm like, da-da-da-da. Let's talk about something other, and then bring up a random topic, and then I, boom, go into it like, I know you have not paid your rent in the past 3 months. What's going on? Talk to me now. Because my boss is ready to send you an eviction notice, or send you a late fee notice, or something. Like, communicate with me. So,
I think we definitely need to break that cycle.
I
think that ties into everything we go through. I feel like we can work on that and change that, and all the other struggles we go through will come in the light. And then we can be able to change that. Okay. I think we've got to the end.
We got to the end. Thank you.
Thank you for making it in. At the very end of every interview, I always ask you to kind of share your final thoughts. Just because you talked about your life. And I do appreciate you talking about all aspects of your life, especially those the moments, the darkest moments of your life. A lot of people may not have the courage to, but I always admire people that are willing to share everything about they went through to help somebody else. Because I think it's powerful too. Because whatever you share, because I feel like you said, I feel like everybody has I think you said it a lot. But everybody's important, and everybody's story is. I think that's what you said. Everybody's story is important.
Yes.
And
very much
so it doesn't matter who you are, gender, ethnicity, lifestyle. You're just as important as anybody else. If anybody that's watching this, just share final thoughts of something that you feel like that share a principle or motivation, or something that you feel like you want to give to them that help them in their life, something that's helped you in your own personal life.
I don't even. I've never been a motivational type of no, just live your life. Like live your life, and just understand that there's going to be people that's in your life, and there's going to be people that's going to be out of your life, whether that may be the same person, right? And be happy. And try to do things that really make you happy. Like wake up in the morning and ask yourself, what do you want to do today? Start with that, and then take it day by day. Find a hobby. Find a hobby that really just helps you just cleanse your mind and your soul, and just take your time, but definitely live your life, and just live your truth.
Yeah.
You know, love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can love everybody else, but you should love yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's something my sister Marcos would always say. I love you, but I love myself a little bit more. You know? So they'll always tell you, like, you know, take care of yourself too. Yeah. And just support one another. Yeah. You know, and just be there for people. Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
That's it.
Rock and roll. Bo, thank you.